and 1. Be there now. Tell me what you see, feel, sense, or experience. What are the first things that you notice as you look around in this place?
I'm not really getting a visual, but I'm getting a major expansion in the front of my body.
Tell me about that expansion.
I'm just being opened up. It feels really good.
Okay. Tell me what it feels like.
It feels like big energy opening before me and interacting with my energy. It's really warm. It's almost like it's a being before me.
Tell me about this being.
Just getting like waves of energy. It's making me really hot. And it kind of seems like it's an angel, like an archangel. I don't think it's source, but it's just very strong.
Allow yourself to connect with this being, connecting telepathically, connecting mind to mind so that you begin to understand who this being is. Tell me what the first thing that comes through is. Who is this being?
I feel like it's Archangel Gabriel.
Very good. And as you are connected there in this space, what is it that Archangel Gabriel wants you to know or to understand?
Believe in myself. Trust what I receive or feel. I can do anything I set my mind to. I'm so much like bigger than I imagine, like my soul is. He's helping me navigate my life because he knows there's hard times. I asked him to do that for me. We have stuff to accomplish, he says. It's not quite time yet, but soon. They're working on my energy to adjust it for him or them, like opening me up so I can handle it.
What will this expansion do for you?
I'll be able to hear them better, bring them through better for others. Opening possibilities for me to help others. They know that's what I want to do, and they want to help me do that.
And
they're opening me up so I can channel them or something.
Other than Archangel Gabriel, who else is it that you're connected to right now?
Archangel Michael's always there. keeping me safe and helping because I'm sensitive. Sometimes Raphael, but mostly Gabriel. He says he's like stronger in the stronger one coming through. He's the spinning energy. Things are spinning right now, but in a different way. He didn't want to scare me, but he's trying to adjust my energy when I am open to it, helping me, opening me up.
So you mentioned that she'll be channeling energies or channeling information. What is it that she'll be channeling or hearing?
Guidance. People want guidance. She wants to do this work. She likes channeled information. She's wanted to do it for a long time, but her energy wasn't ready for it. And soon it will be. We're working hard. She's strong enough to do it, to step out on her own. But we have to keep opening things for a while. It's not an overnight process. It takes some adjustment on everyone's part. Working together so it flows. She can do it on her own, not just with help. But she's ready in most other ways. It's just fine-tuning her energy and then trusting herself to do it.
What can she do on her own to help with this process? What does she need to work on?
Relaxing, not trying to do everything, like forcing everything, allowing us to help her, allowing us to come through, surrendering, letting go. She knows all of this. But it was time for her to know. She's happy about this, so she's crying. It's time for her to know there is more coming. She just has to be patient a little longer, but we're helping her. Trust her intuitive abilities because they're guiding her well right now. To follow the energy when it's time to go or do or move versus relax. Not getting too tied up in outcomes. Trusting it'll all work out and to not take any decision too seriously. Because we'll come through no matter what. And have faith in that. So letting go. Trusting.
That was one of her questions. She feels like she has a little bit of trouble letting go. What else can you share with her to help her with that?
But today will help. Because she'll know more's coming. And since she'll know, she can let go. Release all that worry or fear or anxiety about her future. Patience. Because now she'll know.
So you mentioned there were things that she will need to accomplish and things coming for her she will need to do on this earth. What can you share with her about some of those things? What does she need to know?
She's just helping people navigate their awakenings. They'll want help and answers and advice. And she'll be able to channel that for them, bring that forward for those who can't receive it directly themselves. She'll just be assisting them moving forward on their path, because she'll be able to relay helpful information from a higher place, from a higher perspective, receiving guidance for them, just allowing it to come through her for them.
Will she be doing this in more of a public way or just in private sessions? How will that unfold for her?
She has free will. Private mostly, where she feels more comfortable. She may choose to put it out more publicly later, but she'll be doing it mostly one-on-one, is what we see now. But she has free will. Information will help lots of people. So however she wants to bring it forward, we will assist her in helping aid the cause or the modality she chooses.
Very good. And she's wondering if you could give her a little clarity on her path and purpose in this life, other than what you've shared with her so far. What does she need to know about that?
She's meant to bring forth great light, to be a change maker, show people how they can do life differently. They don't have to do it the old way. She influences lots of people without knowing it with her light. All of this was part of her plan. And then it was to aid in the awakening, to bring down and bring information through that will help others on their path, make it easier for them. So her path was to be a light bearer, but to aid others on their own path as well, so they can multiply the light, make their awakenings easier. She enjoys seeing that spark in people when they realize they're more than what they thought they were. They're more than just this 3D body, that they have a soul and they're powerful. And there's so many more choices than they thought. She's kind of a catalyst for people realizing the light within them. And she'll simply assist on that path for them with the help of our energy as well.
Beautiful. And so should she make it a regular practice of connecting with you, or will you just come to her when it's time to do that work?
Right now we're coming to her. Her energy is still adjusting to us. We don't want to be overbearing. We have to really moderate our energy but we're tuning her energy to accept it. Eventually, we'll always be around, and it's a matter of tuning in, we could say. But right now, quieting her mind is the best. Doing her cleansing practices, her meditation practices, and simply having faith that we'll do our part to help her energy, that there's nothing she has to, quote, do. It's simply allowing us to keep working on her. So as she keeps doing her practices, we can keep coming in and helping. That is the easiest for us. So that's when we can make progress. But we can only go so fast. The human body can only take so much adjustment at a time. So it is not her doing anything wrong with the pace we are going at. It is just what it is when one is in the human form. But we are doing the best we can, and she's greatly assisting with her meditation. She's eating quite well. She's more tuned into her energy now with what it needs, like with exercise or yoga. It's easier for us to keep working on her more regularly than it had been when she was always training too much or worrying too much. We have made great progress now. So she should just keep up what she is doing and know that we are at the pace that is sustainable.
What is her connection to the archangels?
She has very angelic energy. It's very light. We've worked with her regularly in the past, so there's a deep connection there. A deep knowing between us, you could say, that makes it easier for us to have and hold a connection. She's felt drawn to angels in this life, and that is why. She's just a very strong soul. So we can work with her. She can hold our frequency. We can be kind of powerful, but to bring through in these times, it's helpful to have a soul that can bring through a powerful energy and share that with people or others. Many past life connections where we've worked together. Feels like home to her.
Very good. Very good. So you mentioned that she's doing well with her diet. That was one of her questions. Is there anything that she needs to avoid at this time or anything that she needs to focus on eating to help her with these energies that she's receiving?
She's doing fine. She worries about it a little too much. Truth is, she's high vibrational, and it would take a lot to sink it at this point. And she feels when something does sink it and makes note and tries to adjust for next time, and that's all we can ask. We do not wish to take away her free will by giving her any more lists of good or bad. There's been too many of those already. She's doing fine. Fresh food is good. unprocessed, but she already knows that. Lots of water. That's all we can really say right now is lots of water. But she's doing more of, which is good. She feels her body needs more because it does right now with the uptake in energy. Just less processed food. That goes for everyone. But she's doing fine. Plants are good. We know she worries about meat, which all we'll say is just to go by how she feels. It's not good or bad. Just listen to her own intuition and energy at the time. She'll know what to eat.
We spoke a little bit about before this session about blessing your food and your water. Can you tell us a little bit about how that helps when we're taking these things into our body?
It raises the frequency greatly. You're powerful creators, and when you decide something is blessed or of a higher frequency, or put that energy into the food or water, it makes a change. You're more powerful than you believe you are. So then when that goes in your body, it also makes change within your physical being. Raising your frequency, communicating to your cells. Light is communication. So whatever you said you blessed your food with or your water with is then what you have then communicated as well to your cells in your body.
Very good. Very good. She said she's struggled throughout her life with body images, body image issues. She's wondering why that's been a theme in her life and if there's anything that she needs to know more about this or anything that she can do to clear this moving forward.
It's releasing with old energies as they're being let go with the densities. All the work we're doing, all the work she's doing, it's slowly releasing. It's just programming of old times that's no longer going to be needed, is needed. It was simply being, I guess you could say, wrong place at the wrong time. When she heard something and it deeply affected her emotionally, and that created a belief system that then played out into her reality. But it's being cleared. Every day it's clearing more and more, and she knows this. She's proud of this. It was a lot to overcome, but it has no place moving forward in the 5D. She's letting go of it. We're very satisfied with that progress.
Very good. And she was wondering, she gets some rashes and some outbreaks on the skin, on the face. What's happening there? Was that one of the energies that we released, or is something else going on there?
It was some anger.
Mm-hmm.
Her skin literally showing anger with angry outbreaks. Mostly also just energy bubbling out, like from the surface. It's not to be worried about because it's releasing. It's almost like as things are being purged, it showed up physically. Much has gotten better. Much has been released. The times that it were bad is simply big amounts of energy flushing out through her system. The face was just where it naturally seemed to bubble out from chest and throat, where she had carried a lot of stuff. throat connected to the mouth where you express yourself. But it's being cleared. Just know that every time it comes up to be thankful, something's clearing. It's old energy. It's not needed anymore. It's being released. Not much to do about it, except to keep lightening energy and clearing energy. That's just the avenue that specific energy was taking. But it'll soon go away completely when it's all cleared. There's not much left. She's been lightening tremendously.
Very good. She mentioned that she gets a little freaked out about stories when people are talking about having babies and birth stories. And she's wondering why she has that feeling. Is that past life connections or what's going on there?
Past life, yes. She's also struggled to be a mom in a past life. So she's fearful of becoming a mom again. And so her body fears birth. We can clear this if desired. It doesn't harm her in this life, though. She's actually usually more masculine in most lives. So giving birth and being a mom was very traumatic or hard, was unusual. She didn't really like it. And so that's carried over into this life. Even though she's quite caring and sensitive and emanates many of the divine feminine aspects, she does not wish to be a mom. And again, we're okay within this life, but we can clear it if she desires for the future.
Very good. So is that something that she can ask for to be cleared on her own if she's ready to do that?
Yeah. We're sensing she's not ready to clear it yet.
Okay.
She doesn't want to be a mom. And so, not that we agree that this is healthy, but free will plays a role. She doesn't wish to clear it because she feels like it's almost protecting her from something she doesn't desire right now. If she changes her mind, we can clear it.
Very good. Very good. So she experienced a little, or she's been experiencing a little bit of downtime between the work that she's been doing. What is the significance of the downtime that she's been in?
It's just needed. We needed her to bring up her vibration. And a lot of that required her physical body to recover. She had really worn down her physical body. Always going, always running, moving, racing, working, thinking. So busy. We needed her to stop. Even though she says it's a long time in the journey of her soul, it's not. And there was much to be undone from childhood and all those beliefs, and then the physical rebuilding of her body. We really needed to have her take a step back from everything. And we know this was not fun for her all the time. It really took some convincing and not always pleasant ways to make her slow down. She's remembering some injuries that were very frustrating for her. We had to slow her down. She had to redirect course, you could say. We had to get her back on this path. She was sometimes focused on other things that were not what she chose to experience past a certain point. So this was simply a recalibration time. One type of life transitioning to the next. And they cannot be done overnight. It's not just a pivot and go. It was a complete overhaul of the system. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. The recent law was to really fine tune, really hone her in on her energy, to clean it up, let stuff go. Hence the healing classes and the healing modalities. All the people she went to for healing. It will turn around soon. She'll be busier. She already is busier and is really liking it. But she's in a new energy now. She feels it. She feels different at work. She's completely different than she used to be when she had a job before. And she likes this new way of being. And she will realize that that time allowed her this change, this shift, so that moving forward, she is different. So it'll pick up again soon, but this time was necessary. She had to be patient, which is not in her character, which we like about her. We like that she's a go-getter, but we had to slow her down for a while. It really did happen as fast as it could, but it'll shift soon, shortly. She'll be busier.
She's feeling drawn to possibly working with horses and doing some work like that. Is that part of her path? What can you share with her?
It's a nice idea. She likes the idea. It sounds fun. We like it. It's not necessary. If she wants to experience this, then she may. We will help in whatever way we can, if this is what she desires. She knows it's not the path. But if she would like to experience this, she may. It could be fun for her. Worth a shot, as you might say.
Worth a shot. Can you tell her, moving forward, what is the best path for her? What's for her greatest and highest good?
Stuff like this, where she's channeling. It won't be like this, but it'll kind of be similar, that she can bring through these energies, but for others. She'll be bringing it through for others and answering their questions from a higher place. There's nothing she needs to do right now. It's like we've said, we're working on her still. It's a process. But she will know when it's right. We can't emphasize enough that she will know. It will be obvious. So just let go. We're here. We've got her. She's safe. Her path is safe.
She's wondering why she may have chosen her family, why all of the challenges with her father. Did she need to learn from that or experience?
She's just playing a role for him. Kind of a role for all of them. She was strong enough to do it, so she volunteered out of love. She was helping her dad realize love. She was being a buffer for her mother. Her mother chose a very challenging experience being with her father. And she was a buffer, still is a buffer in that entire family. Her sister was very challenging for her, still is, but it's better. They're karmic. It's mostly been worked out. She's not tied there anymore. Now she can just be a light for them. She just needs to know it was a challenging experience, but she chose it to be of service to them, to people she loved. She does not need to hold the weight there anymore. She can move forward without holding anything there. And know that they love her very much. They appreciate what she did and does for them. She's an inspiration to them, even though they'll never say it. She's a light and they feel it whenever she comes. I wish she would come more. But she has to watch her own energy. And she knows she can only go when she really feels like she's strong enough to hold her light the entire time she's there and not let it be affected. Because they do like to grab onto her like a life raft, kind of. She has something they don't know how to put into words, but they would like. So she has to be very strong before she goes and have good boundaries. But it's up to her when she wants to go. She does not need to feel family ties or guilt when it comes to her family. But we also think this is going to get easier as she keeps moving forward. Her energy will be so light. She'll be able to handle so much more. Stuff will just slide off instead of sticking.
And she's wondering she'd like to have a better relationship with her older sister. Anything you can share with her to help that?
Patience. She wants it to change right now, but the truth is it might not change for a little while. Her sister is pretty ingrained in old 3D ways, but her soul wants to come out of that. It takes time. But with time, we see this improving. And she may never be at the same place on the vibrational scale as Leanne, though. Throughout the relationship, as one moves up, the other might move up again, and so still being a couple rungs different on the ladder, you could say. But it'll improve, and the relationship will improve. For now, we just suggest loving her for what she is, who and what she is. not needing her to be any different, having compassion when she notices her acting a certain way that she might be saddened about. Just forgive her. She does not know any better, does not know any different. And just see her as a soul having a human experience. So forgiveness and compassion and having patience.
Very good. She is wondering about her spiritual gifts. We've seen she's very sensitive to energy. She would love to tap a little bit more into her clairaudience. What can you tell her about her spiritual gifts?
They're all coming. Clairaudience will come. She doesn't need to know much more than that right now. We don't want her anticipating things. We prefer her to just know. Her abilities will come. What she's meant to do will come. And quicker than she thinks. And to trust that. What she's doing now, she'll be able to do so easily in a short amount of time. Bringing us through and helping others with the information. She just has to have confidence that it'll come to fruition. So that's all for now. We don't want it all to get mumble jumble in her mind.
Very good. And we've identified that you are the spinning energy that she feels from time to time coming into her presence. There was a negative energy that she felt in her parents' basement at one point. What can you tell her about what that energy was?
It was a lesson in discernment. She didn't know how sensitive she was. Not like consciously knew. And this was just almost, you could say, a pre-planned lesson to kind of awaken her that she could sense these things and have discernment that she knew good from, we don't want to use good from bad, but darker to lighter. So it was for her to realize she could sense this and determine if it was something she did not want versus something that was of the light. It was also a lesson in boundaries. It set off a whole cascading effect of her realizing she needed to get stronger, set boundaries, take these classes. There's a rippling effect to where she is now. So it was almost the match that lit the fire, you could say. Dark things are not after her, but it was a good lesson. And we needed something to get her seriously on the path of this energy clearing and healing and boundary setting and working on things with more intensity, because it did scare her. So it set her on a path with great intensity. That was the reason for that. It was not to harm her.
Very good. So, we've talked a little bit about her path moving forward, that everything's going to unfold in perfect timing. But she's wondering if she needs a little help with her abundance, if there's anything blocking the flow of abundance in her life. What does she need to know?
No, she's good. This has been hard, yes, for her to be patient, but we always made sure she would have enough to get through the lull period. More will come. She's scrappy. She finds ways.
Mm.
But she will not need to struggle at all because there will be change soon enough. The money will come in from the change. She knows this at a deep level that when she really needs it, money always comes. But she'll find work that will bring in money until the real money, you could say, starts coming in. And once that happens, it will be abundant and there will be no worries or lack. So she'll be fine until the main event, you could say. She has no blocks. She's abundant in more ways than just money. And she knows
Very good. Can you talk to us a little bit more about the real money or the real abundance that we'll be experiencing? How will that change for us, or what can we expect?
that. Money's just an energy flow. So what you put out into the world, it's what comes back. So those of the light will always be taken care of. Those who contribute to the light, put that energy out there, it comes back. It's just stepping into that energy flow. Money, as it you think of it now, might be different in physical form, but as far as abundance, it's just an energy, and you'll experience it that way. And it flows to you, matching what you put out. It's a state of being. In an attraction-based universe, your being is what then attracts the energy that comes to you.
Very good. Thank you for that. She wants to know a little bit about her relationship and her connection to her husband. What can you tell her about that connection?
Many past lives together. Deep soul connection to one another. They feel it. They feel very connected. The love is very prevalent, very strong, very solid. They challenge each other sometimes. That's not a bad thing. That could be a very good thing. Helping each other grow, learn lessons, point out where they could learn more lessons. They're strong. They have nothing to worry about. They're a positive influence on each other's lives. They just have to be patient sometimes to let the other one get on board. But they'll be fine. They're here to go through the ascension together, help each other through it. It's rocky going through this, and they help keep each other stable. You could, like a boat rocking, they help to stabilize it. They take turns doing this for one another. Sometimes One's rocking the boat and the other has to stabilize it. And sometimes it's the other way around. But they're helping each other and they love each other immensely. They want to see each other succeed, even if it looks very different to one another. They've got this even when little things come up. They're more on the same page than they think they are. Just be patient with one another. Usually, if disagreements come up, it's because someone's out of alignment. And if they're patient enough, that person will come back to alignment and the issue resolves itself. It's almost like they use each other as attunements. When one's off, they can attune to the other and get back to their alignment. So they help each other in this way.
So she is obviously opening up and expanding further on her ascension journey. Where is he on his ascension journey? Is he following close behind, or does he have a little bit to go?
He's right there. He just does it very differently than she does. So sometimes it's a clashing of ways, but not a clashing of a frequency, maybe of opinions, of one seeing the other way as odd or doesn't work or weird. But he's very earthy. He has to do it in very different ways. But he is very high vibrational, even if he doesn't really want to open up to the spiritual realms. He's aware of it. He just prefers to be very grounded. But we work on him as well. He gets all of the energy that's in the same room. He feels it just in a different way. But we're making sure he keeps up. Sometimes there's outbursts or odd things that come through him. It's just his way of releasing some energy that was stored, some density that no longer is needed. And sometimes that seems to really rock the boat for Leanne, but if she just knows it's him letting something go, which often it does fully let go, he rounds his corner and then he comes back higher. So none of these are to be worried about or taken too, quote, seriously. It's his way of recalibrating to higher frequencies, because he's having to adjust in real time, just like the rest of us. He just does it in different ways. He's very connected to nature. He does his greatest releasing and ascending when he's in nature, which he does often, so we're not worried about him. Just know the rocky moments won't last. You're on the same page, really, and will be. Have patience.
Beautiful. She wants to know how she can incorporate more joy, more fun in her life, bring in some more playful energy. What can she do to experience that a little bit more?
Follow things that light her up. Something lights up her heart. Follow that. Do things that create laughter. Even if it's just watching a funny video, that frequency then attracts in more of the same. It'll help bring these experiences to her. And as she lightens, more of this will come into her reality to match that frequency. We don't so much want her to go seeking and searching and more doing. We would prefer her go after this in a more attraction-based way, knowing that by playing, like she's been playing with board games with her husband that are funny or fun, that this will naturally attract in more of that into her reality. Being of lightheartedness in any way through, say, the videos or reading will help bring this into her reality. She's doing a good job, but we would prefer her go about it through a lightheartedness rather than something else on the to-do list.
Very good. She has been taking some classes. You've mentioned some of these classes that she's been working with. One of those classes that she's been taking, she sometimes feels a very heavy energy when she's there. What is it that she's picking up on?
It is sometimes just people in the group. It can be sunk by certain things. Just like anyone, when they have a bad day, she can sense it. These are all still human beings. No one is a saint, and sometimes she likes to put them on a pedestal if they're the teacher. But they're still humans and they still feel pain or feel worry or feel hurt or anxiety. And sometimes she senses, since the teacher is the leader, she senses this energy and feels like that's what's being led. That's not the case. It's just the poor person being a human and having a human experience or a human day, if you will. And to just see it for what it is with compassion, and that they're not saints and she should not put them on a pedestal. This would actually be a really good practice for her to not put others who have certain abilities up in some way on these type of pedestals in her mind, and to just view it with compassion and some distance. She doesn't need to take it on, but just realize that they're human as well.
And she's wondering about the healing and intuitive classes. She signed up before and she felt a very strong pull to that, but now she's not sure she wants to sign up again. Is that something that will benefit her? What can you share?
We were the strong pull before. We really wanted her to take these classes. Now it's not as a big deal. We've made such great progress. So that's why it feels different for her. But we would still recommend her doing these. It's good for her to have a practice group and regular group energy to help intensify what she's practicing on her own. And it's a high vibrational group. It'd be good for her to have that social interaction on a regular basis with these people. But yes, we recommend the energy healing class. We recommend all the classes. They're helping her. They make her more aware of her energy. And it helps us work on her and attune her. kind of lets us practice too, if you could say it that way.
Very good. Very good. Are there any final messages that you'd like to share with Leanne today? Anything else important that she needs to know?
Well, she's got this. That's the biggest one. Tap into that intuition and know she's got this. And to just let go and have more fun. Just follow that heart feeling. If it feels good, follow it. But to know the bigger picture's taken care of. As long as she stays in that space of taking care of herself and her vibration, we'll do the rest. We've got her. She's got this. It'll be great moving forward. Much good to come. Much good.
Beautiful. And may I just ask who all we've been talking with during the session?
Currently, the higher self. Archangel Gabriel took most of the questions. It's been a little in and out for both. But right now, higher self.
Very good. Thank you for the information that you've all shared with us today. How were Leanne and I connected for this session today?
The angels. They helped bring her awareness to you. You were a good match. They wanted you two to meet and have a session. It felt right.
Well, I am grateful to have met Leanne and assisted her on this journey today. Are there any final messages, or are we complete today?
Complete.